Some of these people are so far in debt that they want to commit suicide. And they'll tell you on the phone, and you know what some of the people do? They laugh.
The creditors were calling, and I was accepting the phone calls, and I was talking to them. I was trying my best to say, hey, I'm going to pay this when I get some money. When I get my job, I'm going to pay you back, I promise. I remember even one time I said, I'll pay you back more. Just leave me alone. But they wouldn't stop calling.
In 1978, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act passes. Its purpose is to eliminate abusive practices in the collection of consumer debt.
Well, I've had a supervisor come up and tell all of us he didn't care about the FDCPA, which is the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. And he's like, I don't care what you have to do to collect the debt, just do it, even if it's violation of FDCPA.
I started receiving phone calls from the creditor and was asking me, well, not asking, actually demanding me to pay and threatening to take my financial aid away.
One time they even said they were going to come out and bring a sheriff's car and arrest me or garnish my wages. It was just harassment at all levels.
So people would call them up and the consumers would be crying, am I going to go to jail? Instead of correcting them, they just go with it. And then these people are believing that they're going to go to jail.
And then all of a sudden, on this one call, somebody says, you're a bum, why don't you pay your bills? Insulting me. It just made a bad situation worse.
I've seen numerous people get on the phone, badger the elderly, start screaming, yelling at them.
And I felt so humiliated and embarrassed. They told him they were calling me because I wasn't being personally responsible in paying my bills. And the last thing I need is my boss or my coworkers thinking that I'm a bad person or irresponsible. It was really shameful and humiliating, and it was just a terrible situation.
The same thing, they started calling my dad's plumbing company and harassing the secretary there, once a day, and then a few weeks later they were calling every day. I think he said one time they called like 10 times one day.
He lied to her to scare her in order to make her pay. Since she's a senior, that he figured that he can really scare her about, me losing my education if it wasn't paid.
Then they started calling all hours of the night, not just my dad's company, they started calling his home. They'd call at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, and that upset my mom.
They were really rude. They were really insinuating I had done this for a long time and not paid on time. They were snide. They were totally unprofessional.
I was very scared. I didn't know the collection process at all. So I didn't know what to think, and I didn't know who to talk to.
I'm not a bad person. I'm a good person. I was out there every day trying to get a job. But what was happening is the more I wasn't getting a job and the more I was getting these calls from the collectors and not getting a job and getting calls from the collectors, it was putting me in a really bad spot. And to call my parents and to call people I know, it's just not fair. Something should be done about this.
If someone tells you they got an attorney when you call them, you have to call the attorney. You can't continue to call them.
If you feel that a debt collector has violated the act, contact us now for free legal advice.
Well, I put it behind me. It was humiliating, and I wouldn't treat my worst enemy this way, but it is so amazing to be able to go on with my life. It's terrific.
I'm not afraid to pick up the phone anymore. It feels like a burden has been lifted off my shoulders.
Take care of your financial worries so you can start focusing on what really matters. It's time to take back your life.
If you feel that a debt collector has violated the act, contact us now for free legal advice.